Hello, welcome once again to Stuff and Things, where I like to talk about stuff and occasionally even things. I'm your good friend Bradley, and today, bad lighting, bad backdrop, please bear with me, but I was just recording a video that was hard to make. Not from a production angle, but just because of the information that I had to relay to you. I was recording the video about STG acquiring McFadin and Sutliff, and what it seems as though their plans are for those companies. Some grim stuff. But we have lots of other stuff to talk about on this video, including upcoming videos, things you can look forward to on Stuff and Things and Working, including that video about STG and McFadin and Sutliff. I'm going to talk a little bit about trying to get a response from STG and why I went ahead and did the video now, instead of waiting for a response from STG. Then I want to talk a little bit about some really fun opportunities I've had. Let's try to lighten it up a little bit to get some really cool wildlife photography. Just some really cool stuff going on right near town. I haven't had to leave Bellingham to get some really cool pictures of some really cool animals. And then of course we will have your questions, comments, where is it, and feedback in hashtag askstuffandthings. So let's get into it. All right, gang, so upcoming videos. I talked about how I might be changing the order of some of the videos that were coming up on the show, and I am definitely going to be doing that because this coming week will be the STG McFadin Sutliff video. I have a source from inside McFadin who, on the condition of anonymity, has given me some information about what's going to happen after that merger, and I decided it was time to finally do the video. It's kind of long, it's kind of dry. I'm reading a lot of information, but there is a lot to cover. Pretty much none of it good, but if you are interested in what's going to be happening, I highly suggest you watch that video that will be coming out this Wednesday. Some people were complaining that I've been teasing you with that video, but I really wanted to try to vet the information as well as I could and to get some feedback from STG. After that, we will be doing the listening party for Is This It by The Strokes, a seminal, amazing album, one of my favorite albums of all time. Then we will do Cringle Flake 2024. I don't have the tin with me, I had it earlier. And that'll actually be on Christmas now, which is appropriate for that blend, so stay tuned for that. And then Working 41 episode is out, or Working episode 41 is out, and that is when we're starting a brand new, really big project, and we have run into some horrible snags getting that project done. So check that out, faux show. Lots of other good stuff coming up on both channels, so stay tuned. Okay, the first topic is a little bit of a shorter one. It's just, again, a little update. People think I've been teasing them about this whole STG McFadin Sutliff video, but I've been waiting to hear from STG. And so why am I doing this video now without having heard back from STG? Basically because I've given them over a week to respond. They reached out to me, they said they wanted to talk, I said when, and then I haven't heard back from them in over a week. I was waiting to do the video until I heard back, but it's been so long that I just need to get that video done and get the information out to you because you deserve to know what's going on. I am pretty confident in the information that I am presenting in the video. I have every reason to believe that the person who is a source within McFadin is who they say they are, and that they would have access to the information that they presented to me. If anything changes, if I hear back from STG and there's different context or just different information entirely, I will do another follow-up video or a follow-up video where I present STG's side of this story. But as of now, I just thought it was important to get the information out to you. You deserve to know what's going on. So that is what I did. This Wednesday, McFadin Sutliff acquisition by STG video will be posting. It's grim stuff, gang. Hopefully it doesn't ruin your week. All right, but now something a little bit more lighthearted. You guys know that I've been super into photography for, I've been taking photos for years, but for the last year especially, I've been really into photography. I've talked a lot about my street photography. I have implored you to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram account @BradleyAVictor, link in description box below. And I've done, like I mentioned, mostly street photography lately, but I've always been interested in nature photography, wildlife photography. I have a cool 600mm telephoto lens for my Canon R6, and I can get some really cool shots with that sometimes in the right lighting, because it's a fixed f11 aperture, so we won't get into all that. But you basically need some light to take pictures with that lens. And recently, I have had some amazing opportunities for wildlife photography just right in downtown Bellingham. Bellingham is I don't even know if I'd say it's a medium-sized city. It's like over 100,000 people in the city and then several 100,000 in the municipal area. So it's a city, and it's pretty urban in its main central corridor. But I have been going to the marina on the waterfront in downtown Bellingham. I like to walk there occasionally anyway. But a couple weeks ago, I heard a strange barking sound as I was walking around in the arena. It was like a... No, it doesn't sound anything like that, actually. It was the barking of a sea lion, which shocked me because, yes, there are sea lions that live in the Pacific Northwest, but I have never seen one in Bellingham Bay. I've only seen them out on the San Juan Islands, like on Lopez Island or Lummi Island or Orcas Island. I had never ever seen a sea lion in Bellingham Bay. You see seals, harbor seals, but I've never seen a sea lion. So I looked around and I found one. It was a big male California sea lion who had hauled itself up on the dock near the entrance to the marina. So I ran home, got my 600mm lens, started taking pictures. I'll be interspersing pictures as I talk about this. And it was just such a cool opportunity to get a sea lion just right in the middle of downtown within walking distance of where I live. And so I kept going back whenever it was like daylight and I had chance to take photographs. I would go back to the marina. Sometimes he'd be there, sometimes he wouldn't. But I went back the other day and not only was he there, but his wife/girlfriend was there with him. So I was able to get some really cool shots of him and his mate just hanging out, doing their thing. It was cool because it was really cold, and so steam was just rising off of both of their gigantic, bloated sea lion bodies. They'd be kind of bickering every once in a while and barking, just laying around. It was funny because as people would go by, they would be, it's pretty far away. It looks close in the pictures because I have a 600mm telephoto lens, but it's pretty far away. But people would come by and be like, oh my God, look at that. And some people would know it was a sea lion, but some people would be like, oh, look at those walruses. It's like, oh God. But every time people would exclaim, they'd kind of like look over, kind of irritated, like, what are you doing? I'm trying to sleep here. But lots of cool opportunities to take photos of them. And then there's also been several kind of not fully mature great blue herons, so they have their juvenile plumage. And I've been able to get some really amazing shots of them as well, really close up. I mean, obviously still it's with a 600mm lens, so I'm not super close to them, but probably I've gotten within 20 feet of the great blue heron, which you can't normally ever do with them. I've tried to photograph them in more wild areas and they always fly away if you get anywhere near them. But I think the cool thing is having these animals in an area where they get used to seeing a lot of people. I can get closer to them than I would if it was in a wild area. Having them in this urban area has made it a lot easier for me to photograph them. Just some really cool photos of the herons. And then there was a super foggy day the other day, and I just got some really cool, moody black and white photographs of the herons. I got some of the seals, but it was so foggy and it was so far away that you couldn't really see much. But it's just been so fun. I love that I live in a place where I can just walk downtown and walk to the marina. There's also the Maritime Heritage Park that's right downtown with Whatcom Creek, where I was photographing the Chum salmon run, all the harbor seals there and the salmon. It's just so cool. It's such an amazing opportunity to be able to take photographs like that in a place like this. So you guys should check out those photos. I have a website now. It's finally up. It's bradleyavictor.com. I'll put a link for that in the description box below as well. And I will be putting, nature photographs, street photography photographs. So if you want to see some of my photos in larger format, check that website out as well. Fun stuff. Alrighty, but now it is time for hashtag Yes, now it is time for hashtag askstuffandthings. Remember, if you have a question for me and you would like it answered on the Sunday Stuff and Things, you can tweet at SATBradley with the hashtag askstuffandthings. If you are a Patreon supporter, you can write to me via Patreon and go right to the front of the line. You can hit that super thanks button under this video and go right to the front of the line. Or you can leave questions, did I say super thanks? Yes. Or you can leave questions, comments, and feedback in the comment section of my YouTube videos, just like at surfrat8884 did for last week's Sunday Stuff and Things when I was talking about the process I was going through to gather information about McFadin, Sutliff, and STG. They said simply, the plot thickens. Yes, it does. At Paul Rouleau, 1972 says, seems like every pipe tea blend is destined to be gobbled up by STG. Sad. At JA Dame 24, it's a bummer about Sutliff. I did an order of my favorite blends from them this week, probably do a couple more orders before March. I'll primarily be switching to the majority of my tea being ordered from C&D. We need to make sure they stay at all costs. And yes, I definitely think, again, I'm not into boycotting or anything like that. If you like a blend that STG produces, buy that blend. But we should be supporting blends that are, I don't even know if C&D is independent. They may be owned by another entity, but at least they're not as large as STG. We need to support blenders like that. At Tom Brown, 1898 said, it was my understanding that the EU passed an antitrust law that takes effect in January, so the purchase of McFadin had to get done in a hurry. I don't know how many are aware of the fact that STG has owned the retailer Pipes and Burning Sticks for a couple of years now. Looking forward to what you find out. And yes, I do address both of those things in the video, Tom. Thank you for that. At Johnny T 2025 says, any estimate when the STG McFadin video is going to be up? Days, weeks? This Wednesday. Stay tuned. And finally, at Flamdrag says, good grief, get over yourself. This isn't Watergate, for crying out loud. Thanks for the clickbait. Okay, I will admit, the thumbnail that I used for last week's Sunday Stuff and Things, it did say big news on it. But the title of the video said, where is that? What is the exact title that I used? It was Sunday Stuff and Things 12/1/2024, big news on the STG McFadin Sutliff situation coming. It is coming. That was an accurate title. Yes, maybe the thumbnail was slightly hyperbolic, but I couldn't fit big news coming soon. I just put big news. Give me a frickin' break, okay? I've been doing this channel for over 10 years. I make almost nothing off of it. And that's not me complaining, it's not me saying boo-hoo-hoo, but I'm providing this stuff for you for free without really any monetary gain. When I was at the height of YouTube revenue, it was probably like 2018 or something like that. And when I started the channel, I was hoping that it could eventually become an income stream. Even though it was a hobby as well, I enjoyed doing it. I was trying to make some extra money because construction is very variable. You never know when you're gonna have a bad year, and when you have a bad year, it's really bad. So I was looking for another way to make some extra money to combine things that I enjoyed, hobbies, pastimes, and actually make money. And in 2018, I was actually making a little bit of extra money on this channel, but then the hammer came down. YouTube decided to demonetize anything that had anything to do with pipes or pipe teas, with any sort of teas whatsoever. So if I were smart, I would have stopped making videos about those things, because not only did they make them so you can't monetize them, they also just throttled the view count on them. They don't want people watching content like that. So if I were clickbaity, if I were somebody who was just chasing views, I would have stopped making those videos. I would have chased things like Midori Traveler's Notebook or watches, things that get hundreds of thousands of views for me. But I don't do videos on just those things. I rarely do videos on those things. I mostly do videos on pipes and pipe blends because I'm trying to give you guys what you want. So I think I'm entitled to have a slightly hyperbolic video. It wasn't even the title, the video thumbnail every once in a while. Over these 10 years, I have resisted very, very well the draw to make clickbaity titles or to do clickbaity videos or to do videos that are just geared towards trying to get views or chasing a trend. So get off my back, man. Don't give me that shit. It's ridiculous. I know not most of you actually think that, but I had to respond and give a little rant to Mr. Flamdrags.
So get your facts straight and get off my back.
All right. So we have some feedback for the Good Made Better products. I think I have the massively heavy Penwell Classic right here, this giant piece of copper, and then the Book Warden is in my bag with a book in it. At Sader said, great review. I checked their site and they have a lot of very nice items for writing, reading people. That is true. You should check out Good Made Better if you haven't. At Ledger and Lace says, products that solve problems. You could do an infomercial style review with exaggerated reactions to bent books and fountain pens that dry out or roll off a desk. All that to say, great review. Yeah, I should do that sometime. That would be fun. Some corny music, some, oh my God, my book just keeps getting bent whenever I put it in my bag. I wish there was something. Yeah, that'd be fun. At Doggyman1111 says, Stuff and Things. I've been watching you off and on for the past 8+ years, and I know deep inside that no matter what happens in this world, you will be making YouTube videos forever and ever and ever. It sounds kind of ominous. You're the one thing I can count on in this crazy world. Well, thank you, and now I guess I'll have to keep making them. I was going to stop, but I will keep making them. Thanks for all that feedback. Please keep it coming in. It really helps make the show go, but now it is time for the very best part of the show, and that is where we thank our Patreon supporters. After that nice little rant I just gave as a response to a comment, now more than ever, I appreciate your support on Patreon. It's basically the only way we make any money, and the only way we support making these videos on YouTube. And there's a link in the description box below if you would like to support the channels. We're trying to get $105 supporters. And basically, you will get access to content early and ad-free. And then if you are a shout-out tier or producer tier patron on Patreon, you will get a shout-out every week. So every week we shout out those who support the channels at $25 or more a month, the producers. People like Glenn Dunnington. My voice is getting weird. Jason Buckner. Arcturus. Ashes of the Phoenix. Jonathon Proctor. Charles Mowers. And the Friendly Piper. And of course, the Maniacs, the crazy people who support the channels at $100 a month. People like Bob Magee and Ryan McFadin. And we'll never forget our dearly departed friend and Hall of Fame member, Peter Straub. Gang, stay tuned for all the stuff coming up on Stuff and Things and Working, especially the STG McBaren Sutliff video coming up this Wednesday. I wish it contained good news, but it does not. But I want you to know what's going on, so check out that video on Wednesday. But until next time, until we meet again, I've been your good friend Bradley. You've been the audience. Has been Stuff and Things. My voice is going on a not very pleasant, but a Sunday Stuff and Things. I'll see you later. I'm talking too much today.